VHS cult.
So excited, baby, bang, just like a rocket, baby, bang, to the stars now, baby, yeah. The kiss keeps me hanging on, and the way you love keeps me hanging on, hanging on. The kids wanna go out in the street for fun all summer long. Kids wanna go out in the street for fun all summer long.
This movie got me to listen to the Shangri-Las a lot again.
This movie got me listening to Sonny Bono.
Sonny Bono, he's in it.
Yeah.
He never made the good music though. Do 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 do.
It's 1963. All of society revolves around a teen dance show aired locally.
In Baltimore, it does. You son of a bitch. Yeah, I mean, you got to think though. This is near a little bit less than a decade from the Stooges coming out, so there's not much for people to live for yet.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Damn, Iggy's not around yet. We gotta.
I mean, also,
bop
I
on
just
the TV.
What can you imagine what it would be like to think that there would be some sort of racial tensions inside of Baltimore?
Yeah, that's Baltimore nowadays. Baltimore is fine, right?
Problem solved.
I don't recall there being any recent.
There wasn't any sort of
racial
recent
issues.
racial issues.
No,
Right?
not in Bodymore Murderlands, as they call it in the rap songs. I was
They
thinking
also have everybody under constant surveillance. What I understand.
oh yeah, that's just the UK model, as we like to call it.
The anarchy in the UK. or
Anarchy in the So
something. Can't have crimes when there's cameras everywhere. Everyone knows that.
you just gotta wear your balaclava. That's what the IRA does, and other regular criminals. Not to say the IRA is criminals. Obviously, they're revolutionaries and freedom fighters, but you get the idea.
And some are criminals too. I mean, let's not. We got plenty of criminals in your revolutionaries.
Yeah, I mean, you got if you got the opportunity to run guns, why don't you run guns? So a little bit of crack.
It's a little bit of crap.
A little bit of crack in Derry.
Maine?
No.
That's where it's from.
Oh, I'm sorry, Londonderry. Oh, boy. It's been a rough week for me. I don't know what's going on. Just can't get it together. Nothing seems satisfying. It's the worst. You think it's because it's summertime, but you can't do any of the fun summertime stuff. And that's why this will be officially the year without party rocking.
The year of sad summer.
Yeah, when the world needed LMFAO the most, they disappeared.
They're nowhere to be seen.
Now all we got is a new Gaga song with Ariana Grande.
Yeah. Bleak.
Wah, wah.
It's bleak out there.
Yep, it's not looking good. Actually, her new song is better than the other one, so that's cool. I actually think it's cool that Ariana Grande made her signature look just the giant ponytail. Because, the standard cliche is like, oh, ponytail. But she's like, nah, I'm glamorous. Look at my giant ponytail. It's all
this long ass ponytail.
Yeah, it's cool. That's punk rock.
Yeah.
That's punk rock.
I'm not giving it to her.
I am. She's cool. She's a cool girl. I like
okay.
God is a Woman. Song's got some nice 808s in it to make you think about love making. Got the love making 808s. When you hear those 808s, you're like, time for romance.
That's what I thought too.
I got drunk by myself Friday night. That's why I felt shitty yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And I was sitting in the garage because the internet was down for like 7 hours too, so I didn't know what to do. So I was just sitting in the garage listening to music.
It was like the end times.
Yeah, it's like I told you, as soon as the internet goes down, if we lose the internet, there'll be revolution like a couple days. I couldn't handle it. I was like, I just got to go out and kill tonight or something. But I was like,
tonight?
Yeah, one of the greatest memories of my life is like sitting in the backyard of one of the shitty houses I rented while like my girlfriend at the time like slow danced to fucking Lana Del Rey with Dirty Feet because she's been barefoot all day, and like your skin's hot because you've been in the sun all day, and your throat hurts because you've been drinking and smoking all day, and you're just casually sharing a blunt, and it's still fucking 95 degrees outside because it's fucking Arizona and you hate it. But then thinking back, I was like, it'll never be that good again. The year without party rocking.
You can't think like that because there's always so much possibility out there. You never know what the future will hold. I didn't think Donald Trump would become president, but here we are, Kyle. Now, you follow your dreams. There's no reason not to.
No, I'll never have a girlfriend again. A girlfriend with dirty feet who likes to party rock. There's no girls like it. No girls anymore that like to party rock. All they like is quarantine and hot chip.
Everyone loves a hot chip.
Yeah, I do too. Fucking that's all I eat is hot chips. Hot chips, them spicy boys. Well, let's think back on a better time in America. I believe this is the time period that people refer to when they say "Make America Great Again."
And no, I think they're talking about even earlier than this.
Oh, before people even considered desegregating.
Yeah, they're before they got a little too uppity.
Well, let's go back to 1963.
Let's make America the Gilded Age again.
When the girls were hot and the music was hotter.
The guy with a cool bike could get laid all summer.
Some guy with the cool pompadour could get laid all summer long.
It's Madison time. Hit it.
Baltimore, 1962.
You're looking good. A bit
The heyday
strong,
of hairdos and hair don'ts.
We shall
When I say
overcome
that, I
someday.
want you to go to
Not
it
with that
too
hair,
bad.
you won't.
Heartthrobs and hefty girls.
Mama, welcome to the 60s.
Hot dates and hit talkers.
No matter what you've heard, we are gonna teach the white children how to do the bird. Flap your wings, flap your wings.
Beat mix and hair hoppers.
I can't see through her hair.
Come on, let's fry like potatoes too. What you see, girl, is the dance to do. Twist and shout.
And one magic potion that holds it all together.
They put me in special ed just because of my hair.
It's the times. They're a-changing. Something's blowing in the wind.
Let's get naked and smoke.
Are you now or have you ever gone steady? You got something against Connie Francis?
White trash, plain and simple.
Catching my diet pills, would you, hon?
Oh, Mother, you're so 50s.
Starring Sonny Bono, Ruth Brown, Divine, Michael St. Gerard, Debbie Harry, Ricky Lake, Jerry Stiller, and Sean Thompson. The new comedy from John Waters. It's way beyond Grease. Hairspray.
But it's the movie we watched is Hairspray, which came out in 1988. A pleasantly plump teenager teaches 1962 Baltimore a thing or two about integration after landing a spot on a local TV dance show. That makes it sound like
She had was the drive to integrate.
I mean, if you didn't realize this movie was like a satire going into it, and that's all you read about it, you'd be like, "Wow, this is going to be like a real great America rah 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 movie." And then you watch it, and it's all just how shitty American culture is. And why is that? It's because it's directed by my personal hero, dream best friend, John Waters.
Together, we watch movies in my dreams.
Man, what if... I don't know what I would do if like John Waters invited me over to like watch movies with him. I'd lose my shit. He growing up in Baltimore in the 1950s, John Waters was not like other children. He was obsessed by violence and gore, both real and on the screen. With his weird counterculture friends as a cast, he began making silent 8mm and 16mm films in the mid-60s. His mainstream films tend to satirize mid-century suburban America with a camp sense of humor. lot of people have. There's ongoing debate about camp. It seems like, and I was like, John Waters is the perfect example of camp. Just watch his movies.
Like what?
That's
Yeah.
camp. There's no debate.
Why is there debate?
I don't know. What's like, is wrestling camp? Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it is, but not
A lot
always.
of the time. A lot of the time, really.
Yeah, but when it's at its best, it's camp, I think.
Yeah. Because, I mean, wrestling is, you can't take it that seriously. You fucking Jim Cornette, you weirdo.
I think even Jim Cornette, like even when he realizes that it's best, it's still camp. He just was like really into it.
No, he's a little bitch about it.
No, he's definitely a little bitch about it.
Can't stand Jim Cornette.
Have you watched those Vice documentaries? I haven't watched them.
Oh, Dark Side of the Ring? Yeah. I caught up on them this week, actually. The most recent one was The Death of Owen Hart.
Oh,
or The Last Days of Owen Hart. Yeah, a lot of them aren't super fun. You kind of get bummed out.
Well, I know didn't they do the Von Erich family in the first season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they did Benoit and Owen Hart this season.
Oh, God.
Yep.
What's left after this?
I don't know. I don't know what else there is to cover. I feel like it's been every like big time story.
You can do Ric Flair, right? But he's still alive, so that might be troublesome. They did that 30 for 30 with Ric Flair. I haven't seen it yet, though.
Yeah, but they don't talk
We're
about.
off topic already. They
don't talk about how much Ric Flair loves drinking and exposing himself to flight attendants.
You say that like it's two separate pastimes, but that's one thing.
He
does it.
Yeah,
that's one thing he does.
Yeah, he drinks and then he just gets naked in his robe and flashes people. What a cool guy.
Woo! Okay.
Before we get back to talking about this other campy thing, I was thinking when I watched the Owen one, is like, yeah, Bret Hart's a pretty cool guy. Usually you nothing bad really anyone has to say about Bret, except for like maybe he took wrestling too seriously too.
That and he cheated on his wife a lot, right?
There just doesn't seem to be any evidence of that, except for Shawn Michaels when he was super on drugs and was cheating on his wife with Sonny.
I think Bret even talked about it a couple times. I definitely remember him saying like, when you're on the road, your choice are either drugs, alcohol, or women, and whether I chose women.
Oh, maybe. I don't know, but I was like, so he's recently kind of gotten over the Montreal Screwjob thing, right? He got into the Hall of Fame.
Dude, I'll tell you this right now: if I was in Bret Hart's position and
he killed my brother,
killed you, you'd be lucky to still be alive.
Yeah, I was after I watched it, I was like mad at Bret Hart. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you killed your brother, dude.
Yeah, the Montreal Screwjob. Okay, I can get over that.
Yeah, that's like some business shit. You get older and you're like, whatever. But like, no, he fucking killed your brother. Why are you coming like fucking with your hand out and your fucking niece is working for him and shit? You know what I mean? The Hart family's kind of like fucking bitches. I'd be like, fuck that, man.
I do remember hearing that like his sisters were like really like on Vince's side.
Yeah, no, like Owen's wife is like the main star of the Dark Side of the Ring episode, and she's talking about how a lot of the Hart family turned on her as soon as she did the class action lawsuit against McMahon, because they'd been they've
been sucking on that WWF
for generations, and so they're like, we got to protect the WWE, and it's like, that's fucking stupid, man. He killed your brother.
Burn it to the ground.
That's I don't know, deal with that. It's like, I thought you were hardcore Canadians, cared about your family and shit. You're not hardcore. Anyhow, John Waters' favorite childhood memory was seeing real blood on the set of a wrecked car when visiting a scrapyard and fantasizing about lethal car crashes.
John Waters, he wouldn't go back to Vince McMahon with his hand out.
No way. John Waters would have never gone to Vince McMahon with his hand out for anything. He wouldn't gotten a job fucking working for Vince McMahon. John Waters does it all himself. He's the man. He's fucking John Waters. No one can stop him. He did grow.
Time stops everyone, Kyle.
Oh, yeah, I mean, old age might get him eventually. He grew his pencil thin little mustache in honor of Little Richard. Rest in peace, Little Richard.
Oh, I mean, a little rest in peace, Jerry Stiller in this too. He was
fucking Jerry Stiller just died. Rest in peace to him.
Everybody's dying.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's coronavirus.
Coronavirus. Damn, is that Rona?
It's that Corona.
That Winona Ryder virus.
Out there ganking people.
He was good friends with Russ Meyer, the famous exploitation filmmaker. As a fan of his work, he would often go see his films in the theater with Divine.
Naked.
I mean, if you're watching a little sexy Russ Meyer movie, you might want to get it out.
I'm just saying, like, if you have that big old robe like Ric Flair does, they don't know what's underneath that. You got to keep that closed. But as soon as you sit down,
it's too late.
It all comes out.
Yep, it's too late. I've seen it all. So there's thousands of great quotes from John Waters because he's just the quippiest, wittiest man since Oscar Wilde. Probably better than Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde is a little bit up his own ass. But it's hard to choose between them all, but I figured I'd get a more recent one when he's talking about just movies and culture in general, which I sort of agree with. He says, irony ruined everything. I wish my movies could have played at drive-ins, but they never did because of irony. Even the best exploitation movies were never meant to be so bad they were good. They were not made for the intelligentista. They were made to be violent for real or to be sexy for real. But now everybody has irony. Even horror films now are ironic. Everybody's in on the joke now. Everybody's hip. Nobody takes anything at face value anymore. Yeah, and like satire doesn't work as well if everyone's like, oh, well, I get it. I'm not like that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it to a certain extent. He's right, but
yeah, I don't think it's as prevalent as a problem in media exactly, but it is definitely a big problem on Twitter.
Oh, 100. Well, yeah, internet is super ironic.
Yeah, fucking everyone's just riffing all the time, and it's like fucking not good riffs, and you're just repeating the same shit that everyone else says, and you're just saying it into the void of like some Twitter comments or a Twitch chat. Fucking, I don't know what's gonna happen to society anymore, but it seems like it's just a bunch of 25-year-old white men making the same fucking jokes. Hate the
internet. I feel like that is the internet. I mean, I don't know, Twitter, Instagram. Like, to a certain extent, it's not.
Well, there's differences.
More prevalent on certain sites than others, but like Twitter and Reddit especially feel like 25-year-old white man sites.
Well, so Facebook is where
25-year-old straight white men.
That's where boomers go to argue about Trump and Biden.
Right.
Instagram's where
with the robots. They go to argue with the robots. About Trump.
Instagram is where some model tries to like sell you some like fucking poison to flatten your stomach. You're just getting sold shit and propaganda on Instagram. Twitter is journalists.
Oh, by the way, we got an offer to sell some diet supplements on Instagram, so I'm gonna hop on that.
Yeah,
continue on.
And then Twitter's like journalists and people that wish they were journalists, or at least in the same like tax bracket as journalists, trying to like riff on politics, but everyone having the same shitty opinion and saying the same shitty stuff. And then a lot of like accidentally airing out like how fucking shitty they are at sex and intimacy and just regular human stuff. So that's pretty funny. All the accidental like Tipper Gores on there. And then Tumblr's like well-meaning people completely destroying society and trying to evaluate the value of things based on never going outside and reverting back to segregation somehow. So
I mean, segregation today, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever.
Yeah, I mean, the internet is weird. People are our stupid little ape brains weren't ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give them any credit for this, but I always go back think about that Penny Arcade comic where the normal person plus total anonymity, and it kind of is that. You know what I mean? Like
that's part of it. I also think
the internet's created this distance, like where like the people you're talking to aren't necessarily, you don't really see them as real people.
I think it's more to do with the inundation of information, and a lot of times it's information
that's too
completely
much.
Useless to you, but you still have to like have an opinion on it and shit. And it's like fucking not everyone needs a voice, and not everyone needs to be inundated with, you know, fucking more news.
And you don't need to have an immediate knee-jerk reaction or an immediate knee-jerk opinion, or you don't need to take a side right away. You think about it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, this is cliche maybe or whatever, but I was thinking about the line in the Modest Mouse song where it's like, if you knew everything.
Oh, yeah.
If you knew,
shut up.
Yeah, if you knew everything the people you love thought about, you'd wish they just shut up. And it's like, fucking, yeah.
I mean, shit, I sometimes wish my own brain would shut up, so I can only imagine having to hear everybody else at the same time.
Well, that's the internet, man. You fucking have to hear all these people's thoughts, and they don't fucking have anything to say most of the time. That's like my most hated like personality in real life is if someone talks a lot, but they don't have anything to say. And that's fucking like everyone on the internet. Fucking upset all the time. But, you know, fucking. I don't know. John Waters exists, so it's all right. I just
He's
watch.
got something to say.
I just
He
watch.
killed
movies.
a baby today. Oh wait, no, that's a different guy.
He's got something to say. He's say American culture is trash and it's lovely, but still trash.
Yeah,
Let's have fun.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just not. It's just people are not equipped for this anymore.
People just weren't ever equipped for this sort of situation, and they just adapt at all costs. I also saw something else someone else said the other day that kind of resonated with me. Is it was like, you remember back in the old days of the internet where it was like it seemed like it was separate from mainstream society, so there's a little bit of escapism to being on the internet and shit, and then now it's just completely nonstop flooded, and there's like no separation between the internet and real life anymore, and they all just overlap onto each other, and it's just perpetuating the same problems over and over again. I was like, yeah, that's true. You used to go on the internet, play EverQuest, fucking yell about weird shit on forums, not really think about shit.
Like there's a video game forum that I've talked about before that we've gone to since we were teenagers, basically, and
Yeah.
I'm still on the most recent version or revision of it, sort of, but it's not the same anymore.
The internet
People are just angry. People are angry at each other.
Yeah, it's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah, we're heading to somewhere. That doesn't feel great, but maybe we'll turn that corner.
I mean, yeah, maybe it'll work out to be all right. Yeah, I definitely do feel like a storm's coming. Storm's coming.
Storms are coming, Annie. Fit it in my bones. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm a space dust.
Something's coming down the pipe. It's like that one time Sonny Bono went skiing and he could see the trees coming for him.
That's got dark.
Rest in peace, Sonny Bono, who appears in this film. We'll talk about him a little bit because we probably won't see him again in another movie, so it's a good time to just talk about Sonny Bono. He was the son of impoverished Sicilian immigrants who moved to Los Angeles, California when he was 7. After dropping out of high school, he supported himself as a struggling songwriter, waiter, construction worker, truck driver, and a butcher's assistant. And then, of course, he famously found success with his wife at the time, Cher. Became a staple on the TV. Cher, one of the greatest pop musicians of all time. Do you believe in life after love? She invented autotune. I guess she didn't invent it, but she really popularized it. Fucking cutting edge shit. Cher's cool too. And then he became.
I remember her sitting on top of a cannon on a battleship.
Yeah, and also
waking something in me as a boy.
Yeah, there's something about Cher where it's like, who's that? Who that? He did eventually become mayor of Palm Springs, California, and eventually he's elected to the U.S. House of Representatives as congressman from the state of California, position he held until his death. So then he became a successful politician. So maybe he's not as nice as he seems. It's like, what man would want that kind of power? The kind of power where you gotta like fucking suck business dick and probably hide pedophilia and shit. Yeah, America. Oh boy, or the world. At least the UK and America. Ugh.
No, man, it's everywhere. I'm like, you think like China's any better about this shit? I guarantee they're not. It's just a people thing. Like we need to really like be honest with ourselves about what humanity is, and just come on, guys. Let's talk about how we can actually guard against some of this shit.
It's propaganda. I'm telling you, we got to change the mythology.
Yeah, well, and that's part of it. Absolutely.
Yeah, we just changed the mythology. Get out of here, fucking Constitution. We got a new Constitution. It's called Stop Being a Dick.
The problem is like the actual mythology of the Constitution is not that bad. It's just that everybody just pays lip service to it.
Yeah, because actually there's larger myths than like the constitutional America about what America is. And
well, I mean that's
owning
honestly
guns,
it's because
shooting bears and building a log cabin, going out there.
Well, it's because a lot of things have superseded what the Constitution is. Like consumerism for a large part superseded. I can't even talk today. Superseded any sort of philosophy that America or American political philosophy had. Like, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, but keep buying more TVs and
buying more shit.
Go out there and go eat at a restaurant.
You'll never actually be happy. The pursuit continues. Surprise! I saw the Will Smith movie. As soon as he made it to the top, he wanted more. He wanted more happiness, More dollars, more dollar happiness. Yeah, Debbie Harry's in this movie too. She's from Blondie. A lot of
Who?
people assume Debbie Harry is Blondie because they don't know that Blondie's a band, but yeah, she's in a band called Blondie. She was also apparently a Playboy bunny in the 1960s.
You can see Debbie Harry's tatas.
I don't know. She might have just been one of the girls that, like, hung out at the, you know, what the house, the mansion. What's the Playboy mansion? That piece of shit. She also used to hang out at Max's Kansas City, a famous Warhol inhabited night spot.
Andy Warhol me.
I saw someone tweeted, it was like, can you imagine how annoying it would have been to, like, hang out with Andy Warhol? It's like, yeah, it probably sucks.
Yeah, I've had some weird friends.
Yeah. 1973, she met Chris Stein at Max's Kansas City, became her longtime partner, and they created Blondie in 1974. They were both in a band before that called The Stilettos, a theatrical girl group. And then Blondie struggled for a few years, then went on to be one of the most successful bands of the late 1970s and early 1980s. Group broke up in 1982. They went on to roaring success, coming from the same scene as the Ramones, while the Ramones continued to struggle for their entire career. And the Ramones are a better band than Blondie.
Oh, 100%. Blondie changed their sound though a little bit. They're definitely a little bit more disco-y as time went on. You know what I mean?
That song, their legit disco song, Rapture, was like,
oh yeah,
yeah. Or Heart of Glass. Rapture's the rap one, which is
Heart of Glass.
Rapture is the one which maybe it was like time. Well, it is considered timely in that it helps break through hip hop into the mainstream at the time. But if you listen to it now, it's like, man, this is just goofy. But I guess early hip hop was kind of cornball, anyways.
Honestly, the Beatles' "Hey Bulldog" is like a better hip hop song than Rapture.
Fucking the Rocky Road to Dublin, that Irish folk song is.
Oh yeah,
that's the earliest rap song that's ever existed. But obviously Blondie broke through because they did have like a nicer pop sound that they were able to change with the times. And Debbie Harry is absolutely stunning, so she's gonna be a pop star. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Joey Ramone looks like a poem.
Yeah, sure. A complex one, like maybe something Lord Byron would have written.
One no one actually has read.
Yeah. She was good friends with Nancy Spungen, who we talked about before. Sid Vicious killed her. But we'll keep it at that for now because we will definitely see Debbie Harry again when we watch Videodrome. And then, of course, Jerry Stiller's in this film. He plays Tracy Turnblad's dad. He runs the Hardy Hard joke shop. He's throwing itch and powder on Debbie Harry, talking about fake doggy do. He's a little
water places.
Yeah, he's good. He's Jerry Stiller. And he recently passed away.
Has he never not been good? He's Jerry Stiller.
Yeah, I mean, he's Jerry Stiller. He's funny. He's great in Seinfeld. Him and his wife had a long time stand-up comedy duo. His son's Ben Stiller, who's made a lot of good movies.
Yeah.
He's never had, no one's really ever said anything negative about him. He's never like slapped a woman or like yelled at children. Or,
as far as I know, he's never even said anything even a little bit mean, as far as I know.
Yeah, he's just, seems like he was a really cool guy. And he was really funny, and he was great in everything he's in. Everyone loved him, and he passed away. But he must have had a long and fulfilling life. He was like almost 90 anyways, right? You know?
I think he was in his 90s, wasn't he?
Yeah, so it's not really that sad when, like, imagine the life he had.
Yeah,
Fucking
well, you
ruled.
get gear up because Al Brooks is coming next.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit.
They're all that same age.
Yeah, that's true. We also got Colleen Fitzpatrick, who plays the Von Tassel girl, the villain, I guess, the main antagonist of sorts. I guess the main antagonist is racism, but she's personified as it. Although she's credited as Colleen Fitzpatrick in the credits of the film, you know who that actually is?
No,
that's Vitamin C of the Graduation Song fame.
No, is it really?
Yeah, it's Vitamin C. Huh. My nose says, "What the fuck?" And then wasn't gonna catch that. Yep, I don't think she was in Vitamin C at the time.
This inspired her.
Yeah, Vitamin C will come later. She's like, I really love dancing and bopping around. I'll make a graduation song. We also have Leslie Ann Powers, who plays Penny. This is her only film role, and she seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth after this movie. Ricky Lake was like, yeah, I don't know what happened to her. But she's super cute and really good in the movie. I'm surprised she didn't.
John Waters like, I don't even remember casting her. She just showed up the first day, and I'm like, oh, I guess we'll work with it.
Yeah, I love that she's just constantly like sucking on a jawbreaker and shit. It's a good character trait. In the 2007 movie, she's played by Amanda Bynes, and she has lollipops.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the 2007 version.
I saw it in the theaters.
I sort of did.
Well, Ricky Lake's in it. Ricky Lake. We saw her before in Crybaby, but Crybaby
It's another John Waters movie.
Yep, Crybaby comes after this movie, technically, in the timeline of real life. This is her film debut. And famously, at least in like my childhood, because I saw her on TV before I saw these John Waters movies. In 1993, she was chosen out of 100 people to host her own daytime talk show. Remember Ricky Lake? She was always on TV.
Oh, yeah, constantly.
She was like the...
Remember like daytime talk shows? I feel like they kind of died off.
Yeah.
You don't have your Phil
was in the
Donahues,
90s,
Jerry
Sally
Jesse Raphaels.
Yeah, it's Ricky Lake. She'd always like be barefoot on a show. Remember? She's like, "All right, time to fucking kick off these heels and get down to business."
That's how I roll.
Yeah, she was. After only 3 years, Ricky Lake became rated second in.
She's biting out those Oprah heels.
Yeah, she was doing good. And she was considered a Dreamlander after Hairspray. What's a Dreamlander? Dreamlanders are the cast and crew of regulars whom John Waters has used in his films. The term comes from the name of Waters' production company, Dreamland Productions.
Dreamland.
Who were some of the other Dreamlanders? Famously, Patty Hearst. Remember Patty Hearst?
I remember Patty Hearst.
She got abducted and started doing crimes, and then she was like, "Oh, I was brainwashed." After that all happened, she started. After all that,
I know, it's crazy to me.
She started appearing in John Waters' movies. It's perfect for John
You
Waters.
couldn't. I know
you couldn't. We also got Susan Lowe. She appears in Hairspray. She just has small cameos in Angry Mom. Also, Mary Vivian Pierce. She's in every John Waters production. She plays another mom in this. My personal favorite Dreamlander is Mink Stoll, who plays Tammy in this, Corky's like assistant. She's great in like Serial Mom and Polyester. She fucking yells so much. She's just so good at yelling dialogue. We also got George Stover, who's in this as a cop. Then we got Van Smith, who does costumes for Hairspray. Vincent Peranillo. He's an art design. And then I guess probably the most successful, famous member of the Dreamlanders, aside from Divine, of course, Pat Moran. She does production managing and casting for this. She's a celebrated casting director. She's cast all sorts of shit, like Steven Spielberg movies and fucking Leonardo DiCaprio and Titanic and all that sort of shit. But she's been best friends with John Waters since they were like in high school. So take that, society, I guess. I don't know. Yep, and of course, the most famous and powerful of the Dreamlanders, Divine, another personal hero of mine. He met Maverick film director and good friend John Waters at high school in Baltimore, and the two combined to star in and direct several ultra-low-budget, taboo-breaking cult films of the early 1970s. Yeah, so we've so far only watched Hairspray and Crybaby, which are easily the most accessible John Waters movies. We'll watch Polyester eventually because that one's technically in the 80s. And somewhere down the line, we'll probably just end up watching all of them because fuck it, who cares? John Waters is the best. And
I guess Serial Mom might be more.
Oh, Serial Mom did really well, but the content of it isn't as safe as the Hairspray or Crybaby.
No, I mean, for sure it's not, but I'm just thinking like maybe Serial Mom is his most mainstream, now that I think about it. It had definitely had the most mainstream success, but I feel like even then, I don't know. Whatever, it's unimportant. I'm going to get sidetracked here.
Yeah, my point basically is just these are relatively safe movies. John Waters movies are more known for very in-your-face humor and gross-out shit and stuff.
Like a lot of them were rated
X.
Yeah, well, it wasn't NC-17 back then, but
yeah, they were rated
Triple X.
Yep, they were like midnight movies, as people would say in the old days.
Oh, because I watch them alone at midnight. I only have one hand free.
Whoa. I don't know about that with John Waters.
I like the part where they eat the poo-poos.
I like when Divine eats the dookie. Divine, born Glenn Milstead in Baltimore, Maryland, to a conservative middle-class family. He developed an early interest in drag while working as a woman's hairdresser. By the mid-1960s, he had embraced the city's counterculture scene and befriended Waters, who gave him the name Divine and the tagline of the most beautiful woman in the world, almost. During his childhood and adolescence, Divine was called Glenn by his friends and family. As an adult, he used the stage name Divine as his personal name, telling one interviewer that both Divine and Glenn Milstead were both just names. Glenn is the name I was brought up with. Divine is the name I've been using for the past 23 years. I guess it's always Glenn and it's always Divine. To me, the character
You can't
Divine,
know my true name because I don't need the magicians.
Yeah, it's like Divine's encrypted. You'll never know my true name because you'll get power over me. He goes on to say, do you mean the character Divine or the person Divine? You see, it gets very complicated. There's the Divine you're talking to now, and there's the character Divine, which is just something I do to make a living. She doesn't really exist at all. Yes.
Wow. Thanks, David Bowie.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's that cool shit. At one point, he had the name Divine officially recognized as it appeared on his passport. And in keeping with his personal use of the name, his close friends nicknamed him Divvy, which is a cute nickname.
Oh, that is a cute name. Also very Hulk Hogan, or I should say Terry Hogan.
You got it, brother. This is Ariba, man. Ariba, man.
Rodzilla.
Described by People magazine as the drag queen of the century. I don't know why they have the authority to determine that. But
if anybody knows drag queens, it's People magazine.
Yeah. Divine has remained a cult figure, particularly within the LGBT community, and has provided the inspiration for fictional characters, artworks, and songs. Various books and documentaries, films devoted to his life have also been produced. There's a quote here. I can't remember who it's from. I forgot to write it down, but it's one of the few truly radical and essential artists of the century who is an audacious symbol of man's quest for liberty and freedom. Hell yeah.
Wow. I want someone to say something nice about me like that.
You better get to work on your drag looks.
Seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm like too old to get into it now, but I was like, man, I'd love to do drag. I guess you're never too old to try new things. I don't got.
Yeah, that's right. You can be. I'm gonna get into skateboarding.
I especially like that. Like the rules of drag have opened up a little bit. So like I don't even necessarily need to shave my beard anymore or like my chest. That's what's up.
Oh, that reminds me. Everybody's doing cutting their hair into mullets for the Tiger King. So I'm gonna cut my hair into a mullet.
Oh, I've already been growing a mullet.
Yeah, we talked about this before, but I haven't actually cut it yet. I'm gonna do it. Maybe tomorrow.
Mine's starting to look like a mullet. For a while, it was just a mohawk, because it was kind of the same length. But now it's gotten to the point where the back's a little bit longer than the top. So we're getting close. Soon, get some of that stuff you rub in your hair to turn it into dreads. It's gonna be awesome.
Nah, I don't want that dread stuff.
It's gonna be awesome.
Nah, it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be jawsome, like the Street Sharks.
Oh, fuck that show.
On March 7th,
and then this happened.
Yeah, that's cartoons selling toys though.
Street Sharks is really bad.
I guess sometimes they tried though, like with the early G.I. Joe like TV movies.
Yeah, those were intense.
Where they're like, yeah, I know it's toys, but it's a job, so I'm gonna wreck the shit out of it. On March 7th, 1988, 3 weeks after Hairspray was released nationwide, Divine was staying at the Regency Plaza Suites Hotel in Los Angeles. He was scheduled to tape a guest appearance on the following day as Uncle Otto on the Fox Network television series Married with Children. Divine returned to his hotel that evening where he dined with friends at the hotel restaurant before returning to his room. His doom. Shortly before midnight, he died in his sleep at age 42 of an enlarged heart. Probably because of sleep apnea. Divine's body was flown back to Maryland and taken to Ruck's funeral home in Towson, where a coffin was obtained for him. The funeral took place at Prospect Hill Cemetery, where a crowd of hundreds had assembled to pay their respects. John Waters gave a speech and was one of the pallbearers who then carried the coffin to its final resting place, next to the grave of Divine's grandmother. John Waters was devastated and later made the comment, after you've worked hard all your life and finally succeeded, I think you deserve more than 2 weeks to enjoy it. Because they were on tour promoting Hairspray, which was a major success, and he died, which sucks. In what has become a tradition, though, fans have been known to leave makeup, food, and graffiti on Divine's grave in memoriam. Waters claims that some fans have sexual intercourse on his grave, which he believes Divine would love. So that's now officially one of my goals in life, is to have sex on Divine's grave. As a result of having played Edna Turnblad in Hairspray, the stage musical traditionally casts the band in the role out of respect for Divine.
And that's how we got John Travolta. Woo!
Yeah, woo, John Travolta. And there is a 12-foot tall statue in the likeness of Divine, made by artist Andrew Logan, which can be seen on permanent display at the American Visionary Art Museum in Divine's hometown of Baltimore. And here's a great quote from Divine himself saying, "People who used to make fun of me are now fans. I had the last laugh," which is fucking awesome. That's the best. That's why Divine's the best, because fucking just did whatever he want. He just fucking out there living his life, doing his shit, found success, and was able to rub it in everyone's face. And he's just like, fuck you, I do what I want. This is what life's all about.
Yeah, you know what? Just like Donald Trump.
Yeah, Divine wasn't as Donald Trump, though.
It can be dirty if you want it to be, is what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? It's a similar road.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing: is
you got to be careful. Be a better person.
Donald Trump got the power he has from money, that existing wealth in his family, all this sort of shit. Divine is a regular middle class kid who also happened to be gay and a drag queen. Doesn't fit into society at all. He said, fuck that, I do what I want, and still found success. That's admirable. Donald Trump, he's just a fat piece of shit. Who cares?
There you go.
He eats some dookie. He eats dookie and he loves it. Divine does it for the art.
Divine McDonald's eats Big Macs and fried chicken from the KFCs.
Nah, didn't
fried chicken.
Didn't Pelosi say that he eats baby doo-doo or something?
He called him big old fat baby button face. I think that's
it. And then she voted for his war budget. Got him, Pelosi. John Waters wrote the screenplay under the title of White Lipstick, with the story loosely based on real events. The Corny Collins Show is based on the real-life Buddy Dean Show, a local dance party program which preempted Dick Clark's American Bandstand and aired in the Baltimore area during the 1950s and early 1960s. I was thinking about while I was watching this movie, my only exposure growing up to these sort of dance programs was Soul Train. So I was like, fucking, Black America did it. They tricked this white boy into thinking that the dance program was a black invention.
I mean, dancing is basically a black invention, so.
Yeah, having fun, listening to music and shit.
All the music on the dance shows was a black invention.
Yeah. Yep. They had the last laugh. They got me. I mean, that's the whole thing, is it's not even really a trick, because that's how it should be remembered. Yeah, because my only exposure to anything like that was Soul Train, so I thought Soul Train was the originator. But
segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever.
That's George Wallace, right?
Yeah,
George Wallace. He said that before he was elected governor, so he said that, and people still elected him.
That was like a feature.
Wild, but that was like Alabama, right, or Georgia?
Yeah, well, I think it's so fucking different. Alabama would still do that today.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I mean. It's like, yeah, I mean, makes sense for those guys, those assholes.
They almost elected a goddamn pedophile.
Yeah, and they were like proud of it too. That's the whole thing. It's like, yeah, he's a proud Republican child molester.
And Charles Barkley had to go down there and save everybody.
Thank you, Charles Barkley. You got this man's terrible. John Waters wrote that his all-time favorite review of Hairspray was David Edelstein's in Rolling Stone, in which he says, "A family movie both the Bradys and the Mansons could adore." Yeah, I guess if you're like a dumb suburban American, you watch this movie at face value, you'd probably just be like, wow, this is cute and fun. And then if you're more of a Manson type like me, you'd be like,
yeah, race wars.
Take that, America. Yeah, that's the Manson family would say. They'd be like, oh shit, it's Helter Skelter.
I knew it. John wanted to send the secret messages. All right, now suck my cock.
John Waters and the Beatles send the secret messages. Yeah, fucking Charles Manson. He just wanted to have sex with the young girls out in the desert. And things got out of control.
There's better ways to do it.
Not if you're like a crazy, lifelong criminal. He's not like he was smart. This is John Waters' first and only PG-rated film. PG-13 for Crybaby, though.
It seems like that movie could have been PG. What was the PG-13?
I think the difference is just that this one came out in 88 and Crybaby came out in 1990.
Oh.
There's a difference. The rating systems like got softer in the 90s. That's when I believe it's called the pussification of America. They stopped letting
I think I read about that on the Epoch Times.
Yeah,
Epic Times, or where the fuck it's called.
They stopped letting old white men run around and kill all the people living in the city for revenge or something. I don't know. The role of Edna Turnblad was originally written for famed transgender actress Christine Jorgensen. However, when the role of Tracy had to be written, John Waters also rewrote the role of Edna in order to keep his friend and muse Divine in the production. Divine was originally going to play Tracy and Edna, mother and daughter.
Oh, intense. Now she played mother and enemy.
Mother and racist TV guy. There was a scene filmed but cut where prior to her Corning Collins edition, Tracy breaks into Amber's house, destroys Amber's room, and dyes her hair blonde. This scene explains why Tracy's hair changes from brown to blonde between scenes. Not even necessary. She just has blonde hair because she's like the star now.
She's a star now.
Yeah.
And all stars have blonde hair, damn it.
Her hair is dope because it's not all blonde. It's like fucking...
It's two-tone.
Yeah, that's the shit, man. That's punk rock. Another scene was filmed where Tracy finds cockroaches in her hair, which is, of course, based on the urban legend about a girl finding cockroaches in her beehive hairdo, right? Or is it spiders? Maybe it's both. I've heard both, I think.
I don't remember. Both sound right, so I'm going to say yes.
Well, like one of them is in like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Ooh.
It never made it into the final cut, but it explains all the references to roaches in the later part of the film.
She's clean, and her mom said so.
Yeah, she's a clean machine. I think the implication, though, is they're white trash. Right? Because they don't live in the nice part of town.
And they talk to coloreds.
Yeah, they talk to coloreds. I learned a new racial pejorative from this movie. When
I don't know.
Debbie Harry, the boss, the mom, Blondie, when they first see Tracy on TV, she's like, "Oh," her daughter's like, "There she is," and she's like, "Oh, well, I mean, she might even be high yellow," which apparently is old term for someone who's a light-skinned black person who can pass for white.
Wow.
Yeah, so I learned that.
Let's not bring that one back.
Nah, that's a weird one. And then, of course, in 2002, the film was adapted into a Broadway musical of the same name, which won 8 Tony Awards, including Best Musical in 2003.
And then that musical was adapted into a movie.
Yep, and then a second film version of Hairspray, an adaptation of the stage musical, was then released in 2007 by Warner Brothers Pictures, which included many changes, and it sucked.
And it was also like 30 minutes longer.
They had all those fucking songs in it. First one's not a musical. It just has music in it. Fucking remake is based off the musical. Everybody's just fucking singing all the time. It's bullshit. Everyone out there singing. And it's like the fucking sincere, saccharine, cutesy version of the story where it's like white savior shit. Instead of like having the white characters utter the line, "But we have black souls, Tracy." Yeah, that's the best thing about...
I was the first black president. That's a Brooklyn line.
Yeah. Best thing about the original version is doesn't hold any... John Waters doesn't pull any punches for anybody. It's like, yeah, it's even these dumb, stupid kids say some stupid shit. Even though their hearts are in the right place, saying some stupid shit. They call that... Nowadays, we call that Tumblr. Speaking of the guy who says that, Link Larkin. He's played by a man named Michael St. Gerard. Does he look familiar to you?
He did.
He looks a little bit like Topher Grace, wouldn't you say?
Are they related?
Yeah, it was a very studly Topher Grace. But more specifically, doesn't he look like our nephew, Chad?
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, he straight up looks like Chad. Just like,
I thought you were going to tell me like he's like someone's dad or something.
Nah, he just looks like our nephew.
The entire time I was like, why does that guy look so familiar?
Yeah. He's just like not as dark as our nephew Chad, I think is the only difference. And
doesn't have any as much Mexican in him.
No, he's got his name is Michael St. Gerard, so he's like English or something.
Chad's name is Chad though, so
yeah, that's true.
Chad Hinesley.
Yeah, he's got an Irish last name. That's living in America, though.
Living in America.
Or maybe not. I feel like it's I always feel like it must be common that there's like racially mixed families because ours is, but then maybe I guess it's not that common. But then
nope.
I don't know.
Probably not.
Whatever. Fucking yeah. Everyone is out here on the internet talking like they know what's best for black people, and they have never met a black person. So guess maybe they don't ever like hang out.
I think it's always really telling how people on the internet only seem to know one part of Martin Luther King's letters from a Birmingham jail.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole thing with Martin Luther King is the American culture at large is like they've like washed away so much of like the actual teeth and revolutionary thinking that Martin Luther King was espousing, and they're just like, yeah, now he's safe for the kids to consume because well, he won't accidentally possibly inspire some sort of deviant thought, like, you know.
Well, I mean, you can see it like
rights.
just when Martin Luther King Day happens, and like there's all these Republicans like, oh, let me say something nice about Martin Luther King, and then as soon as there's like some sort of protest, and they're like, God damn it, you sons of bitches!
Yeah,
why don't they learn their place? It's not the time for this shit.
Yeah, it's not the time for it. When is it going to be the time, huh? People are tired of waiting.
I don't know, Kyle.
Yeah.
What does happen to a dream deferred?
Makes you live
a happy, satisfied life, and
everything works out, right? Yeah. So Hairspray is a pretty good movie. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I ended up watching it a few times this week, and I was like, you know what? I kind of always thought this was like not a very good John Waters movie.
That's a good John.
I was like,
movie.
This is still a good movie.
It's better than Crybaby.
What? I still like Crybaby more.
No, crazy. This is better than Crybaby.
Yeah, this one does have some like really funny shit in it. Like when they meet the Beatniks and she's yelling at him of fucking Allen Ginsberg. And she's like, let's get naked and smoke reefer. And
I gotta go.
I also love that like the period accurate slang too, where they're like, let's do some reefer, not like let's smoke weed. Because if you like read like contemporary shit from that time period, or like even watch Reefer Madness, as inaccurate as it is, like the slang at the time was like, we're gonna do a joint, I'll do a joint at you. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna inject 2 marijuanas.
Let's do some reefer. Yeah, and I guess because I saw it I haven't watched it since like the remake came out, so I went to the theaters. It was one of those trips to the theaters where like we happened to like be getting wings or something at a restaurant that was nearby the theater, and my girlfriend at the time was like, oh, let's go to the movies, with like no plan of what we were gonna see. The timing worked out so we could see Hairspray, and I was like, well, I think I like the original one. I haven't seen it in a while, whatever. And we went and watched it, and I was like, well, that was the movie, all right. And I was
honestly,
and then afterwards I was like, oh, my girlfriend was like, it was okay, I guess. And I was like, let's watch the original one because it's John Waters is actually pretty cool. And then we did watch it. But I remember we were eating ice cream when we watched it, and I got a kidney stone, like right in the middle of eating ice cream. I was all of a sudden like, oh shit. Like I just felt it and knew I had a kidney stone.
Oh wait, is this the time I took you to the urgent care and you like passed it while you're in the urgent care?
Nah, this is after that.
Oh, I feel like it was the time frame worked out. But you get a lot of kidney stones. Drink more water.
I haven't had one in a few years, but even when back then I was drinking a lot of water. I did drink a lot more alcohol back then, though. I don't know. I just kind of like get them. So does our mom. And our niece too, but I haven't had one in a while now.
I was gonna say like my when I saw the remake, it was kind of a similar experience. So I went to the movie theaters and we're like, well, we're gonna watch 2 movies. So we went and saw, I want to say it was Blades of Glory, and then like whatever else is on after this, we're just gonna watch that. Yeah. So I was already like tired and ready to be done. But then Hairspray was playing, so we're like, oh, we'll see it, and made it maybe 35, 40 minutes in.
Yeah, if you're doing like the double feature boosts, but towards the end of the second movie you're not enjoying it, that's definitely like prime time to walk out of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But
plus Blades of Glory wasn't that great to begin with.
Yeah. So. Usually in those situations, though, if I'm going to do a double or even triple feature, on the movie theater's dime, I'll at least like make sure the first movie I go to is something I want to see, and then I'll plan to just be there all day anyways, because it's usually when it's like hot as fuck outside. And
I mean that it's not like we kind of wanted to see Blades of Glory, but it's a Will Ferrell comedy, so you get about a 1 in 3 chance of it being good.
Yeah, it's just like for me, the movie has to be pretty bad for me to choose like walking outside and getting in my car in the summertime over just watching the rest of the movie. You know what I mean? It'd have to be like pretty offensively bad for me to be like, well, I'm gonna go get in my fucking 120-degree car and the air conditioning is not gonna cool it down until I pull in my driveway. Fucking Arizona, goddamn.
Let's move.
Let's get the fuck out of here. So anyways, maybe it's because of the having a kidney stone and not getting to enjoy my ice cream or, just all the events surrounding it. But I was like, for the last few years, I've been thinking that Hairspray was just not up to par with John Waters' other output. Or maybe my assumption was because it had more mainstream success, it therefore wasn't as good, pretentious.
You're one of those people.
Yeah. Well, it's, general public.
Other people like it.
We said before, general public don't seem to have the same taste that I do. But watching it this week, I was like, oh, no, this is still a good, funny movie. Very enjoyable. I like, so I'm thinking, I didn't read anything about this or anything, but I was thinking like maybe the motivation for having Tracy be pleasantly plump is so that she can be immediately visually seen as an outsider. Do you think that's the case?
Yeah, I don't know. I would say yes. That would be what I would assume, but I don't know. Has Waters ever said anything on the subject, or is any?
I don't. Yeah, I couldn't find any quote specifically where he was talking about why he made it a bigger girl.
I also think it's like a good way to just to juxtapose or contrast just the way how easily she was accepted versus how hard it was for Black people to be accepted, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's quite a bit of complexity to it.
I'm going to give John Waters credit for that. I think he's smart enough to have written that.
Oh yeah, no, I think he did it on purpose. It's just I don't recall him ever having written or said anything specifically about it. But I think the dual purpose of it is so she's immediately visually can be seen as an outsider. So she doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the cast. So it gives her the ample breadth of character to be more open to other people who are seen as outsiders, right? So therefore she's more open to being like, oh man, fucking you hang out with Black kids, who cares? But it also then has the other effect of where she is more easily assimilated into the TV show and all that shit. Because, at the end of the day, she's still a white girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
good stuff.
That's race in the United States for you, huh? That's
she's got a black soul, so
you can parallel that shit with the most of the white immigrant experience, right?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, except for unfortunately the real white immigrant experience in the United States happens to be you're getting the shit on from the WASPs, so you better kick that shit down and be extra racist to get your way to assimilate into society.
Shit rolls downhill.
Yes, that sucks. But that's America for you,
baby.
That's America, baby. Yeah, John Waters, as mentioned previously, is known for really lampooning sort of mid-century America, sort of showcasing how much of a facade the facade really is, right? Because it'll be like in-your-face bubblegum, and then fucking the characters just say the wildest shit, deadpan. You know what I mean? And I think the scene in Hairspray that illustrated it for me was at the end of the movie where Tracy Turnblad, gets out of prison and she makes it to the show in her roach outfit, and then she's like, "Let's fucking dance!" Everyone's dancing, and then Debbie Harry's fucking racism bomb just blows up, and everyone just stops dancing. And it's just like, yep, perfect, because if the bomb part doesn't go off in the comical, especially in the comical way it does, then that just ends up being a straight up corny ending to the movie, right? Where everyone's just dancing happily or whatever. But I like that it's just cut short by the fucking bomb going off.
I think the bomb should have gone off and there should have been a realistic explosion. Body parts everywhere, blood, guts, gore, turned into like a real horror movie at the end. And then just, that's the end.
Well, that'd been interesting. I don't know if that would be too...
That's too much, but...
Yeah, I was thinking if there might be a way that Roger or John Waters could do it in his particular style, but he's usually a little bit... nothing ever gets that serious in his movies, you know?
But electricity killed my parents.
Electricity killed my parents. Electricity. Yeah, but that's cute and funny. Electricity killed my parents. I also like fucking that the Sonny Bono and Debbie Harry fucking decide they're gonna blow up a public event because their casual racism gets out of control.
Right? That's what
very reflective of the United States, right?
Slippery slope.
Like
that's where we're at right now.
It's like fucking the Unabomber. Not the Unabomber, fucking Timothy McVeigh. Yeah. And to tie it back with Hairspray or whatever, it's like fucking magic's not real. No authority is really real but your own, right? So with the idea of segregation in this movie, it's fucking like as soon as you don't want segregation anymore, you don't have to fucking have it. You know what I mean? Like they're fucking TV guys, fuck that shit. Just let the kids in. You know what I mean? It's like fucking he's gonna take his like number one fucking TV show off the air because he let the black kids on and shit. You know what I mean? It's like fucking people hold the reins of power and shit like that. But he's fucking. Sometimes you can just do shit and they have to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just it's always better to ask for forgiveness than ask permission.
Hell yeah, like that's fucking part of. One aspect of like my life motto. I think is like, no, fucking. Sometimes you have to do shit because people are gonna tell you not to do shit that you should do. Just like fucking, I was talking about with Divine, how he just went out there and did what the fuck he wanted and lived how he wanted to, and people decided to deal with it. There's a lot of fucking rules and shit that people are going to place on you in society and blah, blah, blah. And they expect you to follow them. And then everyone acts like, oh, we're in total agreement that this is the right way to do it. It's fucking, nah, there's not a right way to do it. Just fucking do your shit. And then, don't like fuck up anybody else's shit or get, cause harm to other people or whatever, but fucking do your shit. Other people have to deal with it. Cause fucking,
live your life.
Yeah, fucking, no one's a real authority on any of this shit. Nothing's real but math. So, like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like,
is math even real?
It exists without human observation out in the universe and shit. So, math seems pretty real, but everything else.
It is,
like,
but I don't know. I have a thing about math and like humans' perception and like the way we've layered our understanding on it. But it's not. You're right. The basic fundamentals of math are.
Yeah, like fucking triangles exist, right?
Yeah, right.
So, but other than that, who knows? It's fucking a lot of times. It's fucking. There's no exact truth to it. So fuck that shit. Do what you want. Except for if you're like, fucking cracker trying to blow people up and shit for your fucking blessed fascism that you love so much, whatever. Can't do that shit because, like I said, you're not supposed to hurt other people. Other than that, fucking do what you want. You can be fucking fascist in your own head and just, no one's ever gonna let you get power.
Keep your fascism to yourself.
Exactly. No one's interested in that shit. It doesn't help anyone.
It helps me, the fascists. Nah.
No, you think it does, but these people that are really in fascism is like, you're not gonna fucking make it, you scrub. Because there's real fucking heartless, cold motherfuckers out there like me. I'll fuck you up, son.
I don't want no scrubs.
No, I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend, right? Trying to holler at me. Man, I was feeling shitty this week, but doing the podcast made me feel better because I just got angry about stuff. Fired up.
Now let's do Waterfalls. Crazy Sexy Cool was a good album.
TLC was cool. The 90s was cool. Fucking
what movie watching
next? Friday the 13th.
First one?
Yeah.
Boring.
I feel like we didn't talk about Hairspray enough. I don't know. Fucking here's the shit. John Waters rules. Divine rules. Because I said so. Hairspray is actually a good movie. I thought it was one of his worst movies. It's perfectly fine. I don't think he has a bad movie. Every John Waters movie you watch, you're like, you know what? I'm into this. I don't know. Hedwig and the Angry Inch, I haven't watched in a long time. Maybe I don't like that one. I guess I'll have to watch it again. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll report in next week. We'll find out.
Yeah. I haven't really been watching movies lately though. What have I been doing? Fucking
Picking your
nothing
butt.
good. Yeah, up to no good. Creeping around, thinking about when am I gonna get to return to party rocking. I actually don't like to party very much anymore because I'm old, but every year when like the summertime comes around, I'm like, ooh, summertime. This is usually when I fall in love with someone. Gotta get out there in the streets.
This is when I usually listen to Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff. Summertime.
I don't listen to that trash.
Wait, you don't call that trash. I'll cut you.
Yeah, Will Smith actually is a pretty good rapper if you go back and listen to some of his jams. He's got like a spooky one too, right? Like a Halloween rap. Doesn't he? Where it's like Dracula and Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. That's good. That's good stuff. Yeah, but summertime is usually this is usually when you get out there, you meet a girl. It's usually when you start kissing, at least. Usually, like maybe dating, but usually every girlfriend I've had, it didn't really start out like going on dates or anything. It started out just like hanging and banging.
Banging and hanging.
Yep, it's always in the summertime. Summertime, shit, man. That's when the love happens. It's fucking meet me by the lake. It's going down.
Don't meet you by the lake. That's where Jason's mom's gonna ask you a question.
No, that's where the fucking Zodiac killed someone. And then our dad went there a week later, and the cops were like, get out of here!
These dumb kids?
Dumb kid, that's Lake Berryessa. Check it out on the internet, guys. Take a look at Lake Berryessa up in Napa. This was Zodiac killed someone there. Also, Vallejo. And only one of the killing or the attacks was in the city itself, I think. It was like Vallejo, Napa. I don't know. I used to know more about the Zodiac. I've been spending more time thinking about Charles Manson lately. Maybe get back to the Zodiac.
And then maybe I'll spend a little time thinking about Ted Bundy again,
Fucking Ted Bundy. I don't like Ted Bundy. I mean, I don't like the Zodiac killer or Charles Manson.
He's no Zodiac killer.
But like removing them from being historical figures and just looking at it as like a story or a mystery, which I guess is probably in bad taste or whatever, but that's kind of my
how
interest.
everybody does it.
Yeah. Ted Bundy fucking sucks. Now Jeffrey Dahmer, that's an interesting fella. Yeah, Ted Bundy just fucking sucks because he's just like a little piss baby. It's like, oh man, I don't get what I want. I like it when there's more like pathology to it. Like Jeffrey Dahmer, he was a tortured alcoholic, couldn't come to terms with his sexuality. Would Jeffrey Dahmer been a normal functioning member of society if he was born a few years later, when it would have been more acceptable for him to be homosexual? No way to know.
But now there is with the famous What If machine.
That's the Marvel Comics book. It's trademark. All right, well, that's a good episode, I think. I don't know. We talked about some weird shit. Charles Manson comes up a lot. I bring him up a lot. Charles Manson. Yeah, he's interesting to me. Not like John Waters is interesting to me. John Waters is a cool person, cool human being. Charles Manson is not. It's just the span of his life is fucking interesting to me. And then occasionally, he just, like a shaman, just like Tiger King. I said Tiger King's like a shaman too. Occasionally, fucking, they just hear something from the other side and it comes through and it's like, fuck, that guy was right. That crazy person said some real shit. So yeah,
that crazy person said some real shit. The Kyle McDonald story.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's a lot of my interests, I guess. It's like, well, man, that crazy person really said some real shit. It really resonated with me. Am I crazy? No, he just broke through the static age. The Anthropocene is over. It's all about going back to shamanism, animism. I'd like to be a shaman, I think, because some people out there looking at my solar plexus.
Check it out.
I'm gonna check it out, probably stream it, because I was thinking, since it seems like there's no hope for the future, I'll just retreat to the past.
That's my plan too.
Yeah.
But I'm building a literal time machine.
Time machine. I'll just play EverQuest and think about my girlfriend dancing with dirty feet.
Oh, well, I wish you luck. I really gotta pee.
That's the end of the podcast anyways. VHS Cult. Oh, I'm Kyle. That was Sean. We're VHS Cult. Tell your friends and family, rate and review. Go to Patreon.
Smash that like button or fuck off.
Something. Get ready. I'll be streaming on Twitch, playing EverQuest. That's EverQuest for you.